so who have gained social mobility.
What is intergenerational gap?
So this term refers to the kind of intellectual or philosophical or other differences between two generations. They could be in the terms of ideas, in the terms of the traditions that they follow, or in the terms of the life that they experience.
Generally, what used to be the difference between the two generations, if we talk about the timeline? So is it 15 years, 10 years, or something like that?
So I'm not aware of the exact number.
Oh, you have not studied this.
So I'm
in
aware about the
sociology.
concept, but not of the years which you.
Okay. One more question, and that is regarding contribution of M.N. Srinivas. Tell me something about M.N. Srinivas.
So M.N. Srinivas was a very prominent Indian sociologist. He tried to study the Indian society with Indian concepts. So to say, he tried to evolve certain parameters and certain concepts, the prominent one being Sanskritization.
Okay.
So taking cue from the social mobility that you had asked, he says that with the help of Sanskritization, castes gain social mobility. Apart from that, his main contribution has been the popularization of field work in sociology.
Yeah.
He was the one who went to the villages and tried to understand the real picture of Indian villages and then tried to discern the condition of Indian society.
Okay. Last question. Generally, South India and Western India, it has witnessed many caste movements, but not North India. What is your take about this?
So in the South India, there has been a direct clash between two castes, the upper and the lower one. In the North India, sir, there has been a proliferation of middle level castes. That has been a factor because of which a direct clash has not occurred. And I believe politically the middle caste factor has been taken advantage of, and that is why this direct clash we are not.
Can you remember any caste movement from North India? Any caste movement?
So Yadav have been active in politics, but.
Okay.
Srushti.
Yes, sir.
Srushti, I'm sure you must be following international things nowadays.
Yes, sir.
If you look at the situation in Sri Lanka, what do you believe is the internal problem in the Sri Lanka, especially the problem with the Prime Minister and the President? Do you believe that after this Tamil thing, they have created two power centers within Sri Lanka, both powerful, and that's why this separation of power thing has created is an imbalance, and it will reoccur in future when the president and prime minister will not be on the same page.
Sir, I don't feel I have adequate knowledge to comment on that, sir.
Okay. Anyways, you took sociology as your discipline, and you studied in an engineering college, and you were part of the anti-ragging committee. Tell me, what is sociology of ragging? Are we actually a society of mob lynchers? Every time we get an opportunity, we actually mob lynch individuals. Ragging is one form of that. What do you say?
So I will not say that we are a society of mob lynchers. I will say there have been instances where mob lynching has come out as the immediate expression of the anger of people. But there have to be efforts in place where we can reduce the kind of spread. For example, sir, recently there have been such lynchings because of WhatsApp groups where people have forwarded the messages and just acted on that front.
Can you just go back to the ragging thing? What, in your opinion, is sociology of ragging? Why do one rag?
So if we go to the sociology of ragging, so I believe there is to some people, there could be a misguided sense of being superior, trying to prove themselves superior, or to bully the other person, and a sadist attitude to try to derive pleasure out of the other person's pain. I think, sir, this is the underlying.
You believe it's an individual trait, it has nothing to do with the collective
Yes, sir.
sense.
Yes, sir. I believe it is
But
an individual.
usually the ragging take place wherever ragging used to take place, and if it is taking place still, it is usually in groups. It is the group of seniors who actually rag group of juniors.
So then I'll say that it is an individual trait, but when like-minded people and students come together, they try to behave in this certain manner.
You have taken some qualification in women empowerment.
Yes, sir,
and
very recently.
you are a very young aspirant. Suppose you get into the civil services at this very attempt, and you reaches the trainings. And in the academy, you feel that everybody is being very polite to you since you're very young. You're being kid gloved in the entire training thing, and you're being patronized by not only your teachers, trainers there, but even your colleagues who may be 8 years, 10 years senior to you in age. How will you handle this situation when you're not getting a equal footing in your even in your training or in course of your civil services practice?
So being kid gloved, as you said, or being treated as such, would not be, in my opinion, an appropriate way to handle or
How will you
behave
handle
to a
this?
person. So, sir, I'll try to put forward this to whoever people are I feel have been behaving with me in that manner, and I'll try to bring forth those capacities and capabilities in me.
But they're
that
being extra nice. How can you say don't be extra nice to me? They're not harassing you. They're not being rude to you. They're just being extra nice.
So
And
I'll,
it is obviously affecting your personality development over there, Abhay.
So that's what I will try to convince them, that it is good for my own personal growth that I be treated equally at par with all the other candidates. I'll make sure that I convey that to them.
You're basically a Marathi staying in Madhya Pradesh. Recently, Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister, when in the very first week, said that outsiders should not be claiming the jobs and opportunities in Madhya Pradesh. Obviously, he was not referring to Marathis as such, but Maharashtra is also guilty of similar behavior for the similar people. What is your take on this? Should this our land, our jobs, this protectionism have any place in federalism like ours?
I don't think so, sir. Every state has its own cultural traditions and own customs. But this does not mean that we deter other people from coming and participating in the employment or the education sector. I believe in the longer term, the politicians have to, and the government together has to move forward in creating employment and ensuring education facilities to all, so that we cannot transfer the blame of this on some other person who is migrating for his own
Thank you.
reasons.
Okay, Ms. Deshmukh. So you have done chemical engineering, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what is plasma?
So plasma is a fourth state of matter.
Okay, and why it is important nowadays?
So one application of plasma that comes to my mind is the water filtration, wherein plasma technique is useful. So I'll read on that.
Okay, no issue. And you are interested in yoga and meditation.
Yes, sir.
Do you know about Vipassana?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me something about that?
So Vipassana is a special technique, so to say, of meditation, wherein they have a routine of 7 to 10 days. It's like a camp or a shivir, which Vipassana organizers do. In that, they make us experience the different reactions that our body produces when we feel in certain ways. So when we think or feel in certain ways, our body reacts to it. This particular interface is targeted in Vipassana, and it is tried to make us understand our bodies and our minds better.
Have you gone to any such camps?
No, sir, I've not
Okay,
been.
not yet. Okay, fine. What are your service preferences?
So the Indian Administrative Service, then the Indian Police Services, Indian Revenue Service Income Tax, Indian Revenue Service Customs, and Indian Railway Traffic Service.
Okay, let me put you in a situation. Let's say you are an IPS officer, and in your city, there are two immediate situations which got arises. One is that there is a girls' college where some goons are basically planning to do acid attack. It is certain that they will do it because they have done it before also. And at the other part of the city, there is a mob lynching which is being planned. That is also certain. Now you are there, and if you have to, give preference to one such incident where you will place yourself, then what would it would be? Where you would like to go?
So both the incidents in hand are really serious. The acid attack is abhorrent and deplorable, to say the least. And mob lynching can have a very deep impact. It can disturb the communal harmony or other such harmony of the social setting. Even if I'm not physically present in one particular area, I'll make sure that adequate steps are taken. Like in the girls' college, I'll make sure
But
that
you would go? I mean, you cannot be present at the both situation at the same time. So what will be your preference? You can send your subordinate, but where you will place yourself?
so I'll take turns to visit both the places. I'll take turns to visit both
But
the
first,
places.
where you will go first?
So that would be dependent on the, so to say, the time of.
Both the things are happening at the same time. You cannot time it.
So I'll go to a place where my personal presence can make a greater difference.
Where it
That
will
will
make it?
depend on the operational. So I'll go to the place of mob lynching because
Why?
I believe that in the case of acid attack, I can ensure that the subordinates can cordon off the area and take all the girls to a safer place. That is a task which is doable by a force and a subordinate who's responsible. In the area of mob lynching, I believe my personal presence can make a better difference.
What kind of difference it will make?
So first of all, I'll make sure that if the people should not be on the streets or so to say in the run.
No, that is a
Even
corrective
before
measure
that,
you will take. What
yes,
kind of
sir.
difference it will make by your presence?
So proper communication and
Okay, fine. One more thing I have to ask. What is nanomaterials? What are nanomaterials? Very
so
much.
nanomaterials are the kind of materials in very recently discovered material technology whose thickness is around 10 to the power minus 9 meters.
Is there any application of it which is there in a present life?
Yes,
Any
sir.
nanomaterial? Can you give example of?
So scientists are working on the applications. Uh, there is a nanomaterial in which a very thin layer, like I mentioned, just 10 to the power minus 9, that much thick layer could become a conductor, or with certain modifications, it could become an insulator. So this can have a lot of applications in the space technology on the very first run.
Okay, fine.
Srushti,